I would like to have Mr. Harvey Reinhardt, our little flag saluter, and my neighbor, and a star pupil in Mrs. Foster's class.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job.
Okay, Harvey. We're gonna get a picture with your neighbor.
One, two.
Thank you, sir.
Good job, Harvey.
Okay. Welcome, guests. Bye. Okay. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? We are going to, on the consent agenda, we're gonna pull 1820 and 1630 out of the consent agenda, and we're gonna move that under right after policy 1821. We'll bring those up.
And then there was verbiage change for a resolution.
And then resolution 4 is some verbiage change. So this is a little different than what's in here. Do you want to just tell us what the changes are real quick?
Yes, so.
Then we can
right away
discuss it
said,
later.
Proposition number 1 will be a renewal of expiring educational programs at the very top, the word renewal. Inserted. And then. It would have been all the way through, it'll say renewal on page. Inside section 3, which is on page 2. In the middle of the paragraph, inserted a bunch of the programs in here. In the middle says, but not limited to teachers, classroom support staff, instructional materials, curriculum, advanced learning, nurses, safety, security, music, arts, athletics, technology, cybersecurity, transportation, and facility maintenance operations. That verbiage was enhanced. And then on section 4, top of page 3, proposition number 1 has been renamed to be renewal of expiring educational programs and operations levy. And the verbiage in between had to stay within the number of characters that can go to the elections department, but we enhanced the verbiage in there. As you can see, we couldn't put all the pieces you saw in number 3, section 3, but kept the important pieces in working with our attorney. The middle paragraph, this proposition will fund operation expenses not fully funded by the state, including teachers, support staff, instructional materials, advanced learning, nurses, safety, security, music, arts, athletics, technology, transportation, and authorize the district. And that is the rest of the rest of the verbiage is the same.
If you put a slash in between each one, would that be one word?
Well, you know, I thought about that.
Then
I found out they pull the slash out, and those are 2 words.
So it still goes with characters.
And you only have so many words that you can put on in this document, on the ballot. The explanatory statement is a little bit longer. We have another 150 characters. We'll add some of those things back in, such as cybersecurity. We're back in the explanatory statement. Educational programs, add that piece back in. And just work with the attorney to say where do we cut up, where do we reduce them? So.
Okay, and we can go over it more when we get to it in the thing. You hit the changes, which is what we needed. Okay, any public comment? Now we have the ASB team going to tell us their stuff, what's going on. Welcome, thanks for being here.
Okay, my name is Jamie Dill and I'm the ASB president.
I'm Michaela and I'm the social media director.
I'm Brendan, I'm the ASB vice president.
So right now we have going on, we just finished up homecoming week. I'm sure you guys saw some of that stuff. We had Macho Man and the juniors won that. We had Powder Puff, sophomores won. It's a tough loss for us. We had our homecoming parade. I was not there, but I heard it was pretty good. And then we had our homecoming assembly on the Friday of homecoming week, and that went really well. And then overall, the seniors won. So that was a good win for us. And then
Yeah, we had our Veterans Day Assembly, what day was it?
Wednesday.
On Wednesday, and we had made them breakfast. It went pretty smooth. I feel like it was just in and out. And then we had our assembly. Our assembly went really well. I feel like it was really respectful and really got the voice out. And there was quite a bit of veterans there, about 20 of them. Yeah, you guys did a good job.
And then for our sports, we recently had cross country state, and Brendan Kramer, Angel Gomez, and Kel Matheny all made it. And Angel Gomez and Kel Matheny took 6th place for unified. And then our football team took their second win.
No,
Second.
They beat Quincy.
They beat
They beat Quincy.
They took their second win this last Friday against Walook, 28-6. And then our volleyball team made it to the second round of districts, but we lost. And then softball made it to the first round of districts, and then they got it.
And then coming up, we have Adopted Family coming up. We're gonna start doing our fundraising for that in a couple weeks probably. And so far we've asked for 12 families. We usually ask for 12, but then last year I think we had like 22 or 20. Usually we have around 20, 25. So yeah, that's gonna be coming up.
And then winter sports start next week on Monday. So exciting.
Nice.
Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'd like to move to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to new business. GHS School Improvement Plan. Call for motion.
Make a motion, we approve the GHS school improvement plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Harry Thompson Elementary Improvement Plan.
I'll make a motion to approve Harriet Thompson School Improvement Plan.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval to buy a yellow school bus.
It's time to
Mr.
purchase a bus again.
Mr. Brad,
And so this one does have AC. Another one, I think we're.
and heat.
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
And-
You can only afford one.
We had pad warmers, not just like.
We have some sun.
Hang little blankies
So
up.
that put us up to 3, once it arrives.
I think it's gonna be 4 because we have
4.
a special ed bus too, but it'll be
Yeah.
3 large ones.
3 large ones. That'll be nice for the rotation. After that, do we think we need more or?
We'll evaluate it. I
Okay.
think we're okay for summer school for 3, but then every couple of years, every 3rd, 4th year to buy
We're gonna
another
have
one to
to.
keep them in the rotation.
Make
What's,
them,
what's the difference between one with air conditioning and one without? It can't be much.
Off the top of my head, it's about 15,000-20,000.
Really? Cause I know sometimes when you go and buy rigs, it's like all of the options are actually cheaper because they just make them that way,
Yeah.
so.
I
sometimes
remember our
think about-
first year, remember, we saw the difference was not too much.
Yeah,
We
I didn't
talked
think
about
so
at
either.
least
Yeah.
For like the late spring or summer to have those options available,
I
but
guess it takes quite a bit, cause you gotta actually put the rear air and stuff in it to be able to get it all the way back there. Okay,
I make a motion, we approve the purchase of a bus.
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're at resolution 4. Mr. Shreve.
Okay, I'm gonna team up with Dr. Darling here, and so I'll start going through, but Dr. Darling will have I guess I will assist him, but I'll kind of keep it moving there. Does that work? So the first one is the funding initiatives. This is a renewal of an expiring educational program
thank you.
and operations levy. It'll be November 10th is today, and so you'll need to approve it, so we put on the ballot for February. A funding initiative supporting school programs and operations.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Of course, my screen's blocked. Let me go ahead in here. The purpose of the levy, this levy funds essential school programs. Operations not funded by the state. Are not fully funded, and then benefits students. Students gain access to additional staffing, classroom materials, extracurricular activities through this levy. as well as extracurricular, which includes athletics, the arts, music, all the things that happen, outside of the bell. Approving the levy reflects community and commitment to enhancing education quality and resources. Importance of the levy. Financial support for education. Right, critical funding for educational programs beyond what the state budget covers. We've talked about those in the past. Enhancement of student services, levy funds improve staffing, classroom materials, music, art, and athletics. It's a repeat of what I said earlier, isn't it? I want to emphasize that. The community investment, the levy symbolizes community commitment to maintaining high quality education for all students. Sustaining educational quality levy funds help preserve a rich learning environment that fosters student success and growth. The levy planning to maintain a minimum levy rate. So as we went through this in part of our work sessions and at the board meetings, we talked about keeping the levy rate as low as possible, but it has to be above the $1.50, and yet still make sure that we're raising up dollars to maximize LEA and hitting the sweet spot, not knowing where the assessed values may go. We talked about how the assessed values impact the levy. And so when I went back through and put the rates in, and Chuck was on the right track, but he said, what about 10%? So I put 10% in there. Then I said, what about if I leave this at 8, put 20% in the second year, 20% in the third year by itself? And so I tried that at different times to make sure this levy, if all of a sudden we had a 20% increase somewhere down the road, we would still be okay. So, and the levy rate that I used, the final one with the numbers, the assessed values are going 9%, 12%, 11%, and then 13% the last year, which is in the memo, should be in the memo that you have. That would be incremental $1.65 to $1.71. You like that? I didn't even read the slide. And the next slide, here's what the levy rates would be. These are numbers that are greater than what you had seen before after I went through and did that further analysis to make sure we'd stay ahead of the game. 3.3 million, 3.7, 4.2, and 4.8. I want to get to those slide. And then the LEA anticipated, estimated would be 5.9 and 27, 5.7 and 28, 29 and 30. The reason they continue to drop partially is because our enrollment is declining. I left the enrollment the same for years 27 and 28, and then dropped down by 25 students and then 25 more students in each one of the years. Now, if the student population comes back, the LEA will definitely increase. It's based upon how many students we have. Number 4 before you is renewal of expiring educational renewal of an expiring educational programs and operations levy. Opposition draft certification includes a draft proposition 1 certification by the board secretary confirming authenticity, and that's on that last page. So you have a resolution, and the last page will be signed off by Dr. Darling and a certification that the board really passed the levy, so that levy resolution, and we'll take and register that with the Yakima County. It has to go to Benton County also. In the past, I only had to go to Yakima County, so we'll find out, make some phone calls, make sure we register this in the right location before December 12th. Board's approval and flexibility. It requires the board to approve the resolution tonight so that we can put on the February ballot. The board retains, here's a new learning. The board retains the option to roll back the levy rate during its annual approval of the certification of excess property tax. So at your last meetings, we had that resolution to certify the levy amounts for the bonds, paying the bonds, and then also the levy. So during that certification process, you have the ability to assess less. You can't assess more, but you can assess less. So let's say that, for an example, the property value is only going to go up by 3%. We're thinking that we're going to go up by 9 or 10. And all of a sudden the assessed value jumps to, I'm going to exaggerate the point, $2.05. You go, whoa, Brad, what'd you do? I go, okay, hey, you can roll it back, and we have to estimate because the assessed values come out in September. A new one comes out in October. So we'll work with the county assessors. Okay, where are we at, and how do we still keep it at a certain margin of what it might be, and trying to hit, if we're at that year, let's say that the voters approved $1.67, and you look at that piece and, hey, can we hit the $1.67? You can get as close as you can. It's still going to be it's going to be close because you have an idea what the assessed value, but it won't be exact at that moment in time. And that's even with, working with Corey, he has another district, they're doing the same thing, doing a rollback. But it just allows you that freedom, that it's high enough that you can bring it down if you need to.
Okay.
Not that I wanted to have it high, but
Right.
I'm trying to hedge in case
Yeah.
something that.
We
would
don't
happen.
want to happen what happened with this last cycle,
Or we lose
and we
that.
leave money on the table.
Right. Any other questions on that? So the resolution, that's where the numbers have been arrived at. Sorry, Rob. Back to Rob.
Good job.
So if we approve this tonight, Brad, then we'll all need to sign one of these for you.
Yes, I have 3 of them here and I'll pass them down.
Oh, so we can
through-
sign those 3?
Yes.
Okay.
She'll also be sending it out electronically, but we want to make sure we have one in case it takes a while, you know. The other thing is, it's not on here and I should have put it on here. The board needs to make a decision by the next meeting about who will write the statement for and against. We have an advertisement that we came through the email from the attorney that will advertise on our website. Looking on your behalf, looking for somebody to write the for and the against.
And so what's the timeline for them to submit their interest on that?
I recommend we have the timeline be Thursday or Friday before the board meeting. So that the board meeting on Monday night, you can actually assign who that needs to be, so they can write the for and against by December 12th. Or you would need to have, is the next board meeting December 9th or 10th?
I
have
think
it from
the
you.
I
ninth.
believe it's in December.
In December?
Yeah, the 9th,
This 9th,
because we have the.
you'd be cutting it really close, because they do need to have that statement completed and registered also with the county.
Right.
And that's the
Elections.
only one we have in December.
A question, if we set the timeline earlier, would we be able to extend it out if we do not get anyone who, yes?
You would just, yes, you can do all those things, Heather, and you would just need to have a special board meeting to approve who it is to do this. More than likely, we don't need to advertise for the 4, but we'll put them both out there. Usually it's whoever's on the committee, the local committee, that's gonna run the levy
Right.
on the district's behalf, on the board's behalf.
But the biggest thing is we need to get it publicized that we need to have someone that wants to do this, the for and the against, by this date. So that we'll know at the meeting.
Yeah, and then do we need to set our special meeting then?
They have a,
Cause we have a meeting the 24th, a study session, right? But I don't think we'll have enough time.
Okay, one more time. What's the special meeting for again? Am I,
No, he's saying if we don't we don't find somebody by the 9th to give it to us, we would have to extend by another day or two to give them more time. It has to be, we have to turn it in by the 12th.
right, but even if we don't get one, if you don't get anybody, then it goes to
County.
the county and they assign it.
Okay.
So we can publish it, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We don't have to, am I wrong?
you're right.
We don't have to do
You're
anything.
correct.
Yeah,
You don't find
once we've
somebody-
publicized it and done that, we've done our due diligence.
If we do get some interest.
If we do, that's a different story.
And what I heard is we have to have a special meeting or have it somewhere on our board, right, agenda, so that we can approve it. We have a study session. I have it on my calendar anyways for a strategic plan update on the 24th.
Is this just to approve their write-up? Or is it to approve them?
That you are appointing, you will appoint.
Okay.
The for and the against.
We just have to have it done by the 9th,
Yes, so there's a
the 9th
form,
of December.
there's a form.
So we can accept it at our next board meeting, or we can accept them on the 9th. Okay, is that what I heard, Brad?
Yes, the night would be kind of close.
The 9th would be, but at our next board meeting, we will, don't we already have the 4,
Well,
the committee?
we have it for committee, yeah.
Okay,
So one, something like Brad said, somebody from that committee will most likely be the person that writes the 4 statement.
we already have that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but could we do this in an exempt or whatever session in our normal meeting? Cause it shouldn't take more than,
A few.
A
It
few
would take
minutes.
official action, so you'd have to be in a regular, in the.
oh, so it could just be part of our normal meeting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can be embedded.
And it can be
Oh.
done the 24th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we can just do it on the 24th as long as we get our stuff published and tell them we need to have it by the 19th or whatever it is.
Mhm.
That we need to have the information back so that we can approve it at our next meeting.
Yes.
There's Mud.
We got it.
Okay, so
And the other thing that's worked on, just
go ahead.
is the explanatory statement, which then I think I mentioned briefly is completed after the resolution. So it'll be very close to what the ballot says already, how we tweaked it, but we can add a few more words because we have 150 characters we can work with an explanatory statement. And so we'll add in some of those ones you saw in section 3, such as the word cybersecurity, educational programs, some of those key words that we had to pull back a little bit on.
Make them bold.
Okay, sorry for interruption.
No, that's good. Anything else on resolution 4?
Make a motion, we approve resolution 4.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Do you need these back?
You're gonna pass. But then you're gonna pass the 3 around, right, Brad, so we can get those signed,
Yeah.
make sure we don't forget. Okay, so we're gonna move to policy 1821, standards for individual school directors. Any discussion or anything on this? This is a approve.
I'll make a motion to approve policy 1821.
We have a second.
I second it.
Oh, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now we're gonna move to where I moved policy 1820 and 1630. This is my suggestion on these two. I would like to table these, or I guess, can I make a motion? I would like to make a motion that we table policy 1820 and 1630 to our next study session. To do policy review.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
This one. Master's code, no?
oh, that was my next one. I shoved it under the policy, so now we're gonna go to the winter master schedule.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So let me check that one off. Okay, we have another one. Surplus stuff.
I'll make a motion to approve the surplus of school textbooks.
I wanted to hear you say
I
stuff.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That one carries too. Now we get to your report.
All right. Good evening, board. How are you? Hey, this will be quick and easy.
You can find it.
So, where to put it? But stuff is. So just a couple of updates. Well, while I'm looking for this, Brad, will you share with the board the grant we received for the Smith chiller? These came in afterwards, or I would have put them on here. I apologize.
So we applied for using, with McKinstry, applied for projects, continuing project, HVAC type of projects. Smith, the middle school, and Harry Thompson. The priority was gonna be the Smith, so they did approve, the state approved the Smith project for 1.6 million. And that is to replace the chiller. We've already done the boilers, and now it's a chiller. And we submitted for the chiller to be replaced with a heat pump system. And so we'll go through that. We have a whole scope of work already set up. It'll be a project, more than likely it'll be in the summer. That's what how McKinstry has it spec'd out. But we have been approved for this 1.6+ million project. And to help out, because that they have had some issues with the chiller over there. They've had some warm days. And so this will be an added bonus for them. You know, come to think of it, I wonder if we can get it going in the spring, because that would probably be nice. But they have to, as you all know, like the other projects, they have to completely shut everything down when they do cross them over. But it was a great, it's fantastic they approved that one and denied the other two, but 1.6 million, that's nothing to.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I don't know if I would share this with you, but we started hosting a monthly CWAC superintendent meeting. And we've had some really good conversations, and one of the most recent one was being, what are the different districts doing to maintain as many full-time FTE students, especially for our 11th and 12th graders, because oftentimes they're taking running start, we don't get the FTE if they're taking, or they're not taking a full course because they might already have enough credits to graduate, so they're just kind of taking a couple classes here and there. And so Jose and I recognize that this is a way for us to kind of recuperate more funds, and so we're working on some plans for especially our juniors and seniors. We might have 300 head count and 250 FTE after, if they're not taking a full course load. And so it was a really good conversation with those different supers to find out what they're doing. We had a good turnout for both of our coffee with the superintendents. As I shared, we had a junior, Josue, came and shared with us. He's starting a nonprofit called Beyond Rare, and he wants to bring recognition to rare diseases. His dad had a rare disease, and so it's kind of brought a lot to him personally. And so he came with the PowerPoint slides and handouts and everything, and it happened to be that night that Betty Palmer was there, our CTE director, and she oversees HOSA, and so this lines up a lot of the work that they're doing there, and he's in HOSA also. So it was a good connection for her to be able to connect with him and get the ball rolling there. So we're going to try and connect him with a couple different groups in the city. He met with Gina and Kathy, figure out how to get a nonprofit started. So they're helping him with all that paperwork. And so I'm excited to see. He said, I want to do something that's not just a one and done project. I want to do something that's really going to last and get some momentum. So we had quite a few parents there. They were asking him questions, and it was a good time. So. I attended the Veterans Day Assembly at the high school. They said, they did a fantastic job. Completely ran, organized by the students. They had a good turnout from veterans there participating, and it was a nice event. And then two things that aren't on here. Jose, will you first talk about the Balmer Group grant, and then kind of talk about what you're doing this week and what you're presenting on?
Yeah, so we got $100,000 grant from the Balmer Foundation through ESD 105 for our summer learning program. So I think on average is what we spend for summer learning. So it's kind of free money, if you will. The stipulations that we're going to grapple with in planning is it has to be a full 8-hour day for students. So getting staff to be part of that might be challenging. It has to be 20 days or more, and our summer learning program runs about 22 to 20 days on average, depending on the year. So we're good there. Of the students who attend, 70, we have to guarantee or try to get at least 70% of those students there all the time. And we do. We have a really robust attendance program, so we can track students there. So that's the 8-hour day, and then the attendance pieces. But I don't think they're going to really hold their feet to the fire. I think that they're going to give us some money, and then we have to provide the data. Initially, when they proposed it, I said no because they had a curriculum that they wanted us to use, but then we found out that now we can use our own curriculum as long as it's research-based, standards-based, all of that stuff. So that's really cool. Going to get some money to do our summer learning program. And if you recall, last year was very limited. We only did our 3rd and 4th grade students and high school credit retrieval. Now we're going to be able to offer more offerings this summer. So that's
Will
exciting.
the 8-hour day have to be all instruction?
No, that's the nice thing about it. It can be interventions, it could be enrichment. I think that you do have to have a literacy and a math component. And I think there is I think it's like a 90-minute requirement for both.
Okay.
So we're good. We usually do about 2 hours and 2 hours of math and literacy anyway. So, and then we'll figure that piece out. So we're excited about that. And then about the Phoenix.
Yep.
Yeah. So then we're taking a group of teachers down to Phoenix, Arizona to a 9th grade success summit to learn more about and get better at our 9th grade success program. So the premise of that, if you recall, is to make sure that all our 9th grade students are on track at the end of the freshman year with passing all their credits. The research supports that if you're a 9th grader and you're passing all your classes or you got all your credits, you have an 85% chance of graduating with your cohorted class within 4 years. If you don't, if you're failing 1 or 2 classes at the end of freshman year, 9th grade year, it's a 24% chance of you graduating with your cohort. So the premise is you intervene early and often. You collect data, behavior, attendance, and grades, of course. And you intervene early enough so that kids can be successful. From that, we have Greyhounds Matters. We've pushed on the schedule at the high school to ensure that even though we're in a trimester system, that our 9th graders get math all 3 trimesters. This year, the push is going to be that they all get ELA 9th grade year. Last year, we had a really nice transition from 8th to 9th, where students were able to get credit for going to summer learning. So they got a credit for
GHS 101, which basically teaches you how to become a high schooler, advocate for yourself, email your teachers, and Washington State history. So they're already coming in with 2 credits to their name. And so we're gonna do more of that work, strengthening that work. And so we're taking Derek, his VP, a counselor, instructional coach, and Claire Hunter, who's our 9th grade success, one of the leads there. So it'll be a good team.
And what he didn't share was he got invited to be on a panel. to Talk about the work that's already happening in the Grandview School District, around my success, so he gets to go there as a participant, but also gets to, kind of. Shine a light on the great work they're already doing there, so.
We're gonna highlight Grandview.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for
they-
that.
You may or may not know, tomorrow's Veterans Day, no school. We have a migrant fall event on Thursday. The dinner starts at 5 and the event starts at 5:37. I'll be there presenting as soon as I get there. They'll be coming back from YVC, so I'll probably be like around 5:35. This Friday, we have our Student Advisory Council, and you'll be happy to know that the students have requested we serve chorizo breakfast burritos that morning. They want scones and burritos, not just scones, and so if you show up, you'll get scones and chorizo breakfast burritos. That's a big deal for them. They want their voices to matter, so we're making breakfast sandwiches. The 20th to 22nd, we're going to the WAS Annual Conference. Looking forward to that. 24th at 5 p.m. we'll have a board study session. I'll give you a progress report on our academic components of our strategic plan. And then the 6 o'clock on that Monday, we'll have a board meeting and no school for Thanksgiving break, and then winter vacation just around the corner. Once we start getting a date of all the school presentations for the holiday stuff, we'll make sure we pass those along. Those are always fun. Some of you have to go anyway because you have kiddos there or grandkiddos there.
There you go.
And that's my board report.
We don't have to go, we get to
You
go.
get to go, that's right.
Going back, I do have a question on the CWAC superintendent, the FTE and headcount.
Yeah.
Something that I know has been expressed a concern from some Running Start students before is that they feel that they're not as, that they're pressured not to go the Running Start route, or that, they don't also feel welcomed, like in the environment of the high school, to participate in activities. Well, are there discussions to be mindful of that as well, so that we're not also detracting students away from taking advantage of those types of
Yeah,
opportunities?
we don't ever want to, and we know that it costs us money, but we know that the ROI is significantly better for families, for those students who do Running Start. So for those students who choose that, we will never pressure them to not do it. Offering more dual credits in the college and high school courses will offset some of that. Because we then provide, especially our students have IEPs or 504s, they want to still maintain or want to maintain that campus presence. But the more we offer for that, the better we recuperate our FTEs as well. But yeah, no, it's important that we are mindful of those students who do want to take Running Start, and yeah, you won't hear us push back against that.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And I definitely, support more in the classroom, because it does make it easier logistically and offers that equity, for quite a few students who may
Yeah.
not have another alternative otherwise. So
Exactly.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, move on. Do we have the board assessment done?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll
You
move
good
on.
doing it?
We'll move on.
Good.
God, Brad.
He's busy.
Brad had a lot more
Good
to,
job, Brad.
to present, so. Okay, we'll go from the board.
I have something, I go to the curriculum council meetings, and something that's being done there is there's a team vetting science curriculum, and Jose, help me if I don't have the facts all right, but the science curriculum for the middle school and the high school, they've already had one, they've narrowed it down to 3 companies. They've already had one company present to them on the 19th of November at the District Learning Center at 4:30.
I
There
think it's around 4.
starts at 4.
I believe so.
Okay, anyway, the last 2 companies will be here presenting their curriculums, and we are welcome and or encouraged to come and listen if we have an opportunity. So I wanted to pass that along.
I have one thing from the board. I was asked by Mr. Parrish, they're putting together a committee for the trophy case, and he reached out and asked if I wanted to be on it. So it's Wednesday at 3. So I'm gonna come skip out of work Thank God my boss won't yell at me too much. And I'm gonna go to that and I'll kind of let you guys know how that's going. So anyway. Anything else from the board?
One more thing I'll plug. I'm sure you all have heard, but she asked me to mention it again. Mackenzie Charvet for the DECA judging on December 8th at 6 o'clock in the library. Any of us that can come. I will do my best to remember to be there.
I was even trying to be a little critical, but
You can do it. You can do it.
you guys hit the marks.
We're all getting a little lecture once in a while. It's all good. Can't even find anything bad. Anything else from the board? Okay, so now we get to move to an executive session.
It's a big
Then they're everywhere.